What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull-Up Show. My name is BJ Matthews, aka B. Just before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull-Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe as well. Hit that notification bell by subscribe button to get all of our notifications when we drop a video or live for you guys, as well as Cash App, $ BJ Matthews, PayPal at Broderick Masters for all this great content we giving y'all. Continuously show your love, continue support. Let's get locked and loaded. All right, so here we go with another video. You know what I'm saying? We dropped one earlier today about the Los Angeles Lakers. If you guys not have already gone and seen that, go ahead and check that out. Our last video. What are the Lakers needing to do to have a successful run going into the playoffs? But let's get into another West Coast team in the same division. The Lakers rival, one of the Lakers rivals from the early 2000s and part of the mid 2000s, and that's the Sacramento Kings. Northern California, you know what I'm saying? Light the beam team. I've been very, very pleased with what I've seen with the Sacramento Kings as far as not just their team right now, but what they've had to climb out of the last 10 odd years. For you guys who do not know, the Sacramento Kings and all my Sacramento Kings supporters on here, they'll tell you the Kings have the longest drought in NBA history of not making the playoffs in sports, not just basketball, in sports, period. Since 2006, the Sacramento Kings have not made the playoffs. That is almost 20 years ago. That's 18 years ago. They have not made the playoffs. That's the longest drought of any sports team. So a lot of pain, a lot of trauma, a lot of, you know what I'm saying, depression and disappointment has been on that Sacramento Kings franchise. But no more, right? No more, because the Kings have a very serious team right now. They have a very contender team. Like, I'm not saying right now as far as this season. They're like favorites. They're a team that kind of just came out of nowhere. I did not have the Kings as a top seed this season. I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. I had the Kings going to the playoffs, but I did not have them as a number 2, number 3 seed. A couple things didn't happen. I've talked about this in some of my other videos. One thing that happened was, of course, the trade for Domantas Sabonis for Tyrese Halliburton. A lot of people, including JJ Redick, who admitted he was wrong, stated that trade was a mistake, because I think JJ and Tyrese Halliburton are very close. So that's why I guess he was kind of supporting his boy. The Sacramento Kings traded him for Domantas Sabonis, who he was the center at the Indiana Pacers at the time. That trade really propelled the Sacramento Kings to another level, because now what then happened is the Kings chose De'Aaron Fox over Tyrese Halliburton, and now you have De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis together as a great duo. And when I watch them play, they have great chemistry. They have great camaraderie, balanced. They seem very, very likable towards one another. So they have great chemistry as well. And I just see a team that's just, you know what I'm saying, very, very competitive, focused, and they like each other. They compete. You can just tell they're very liked with each other. And I think that stems around also their coach of Mike Brown, who, in my opinion, should be the coach of the year. Mike Brown is one of the premier coaches that have been around for a long time. You guys go back in 2007 for y'all that are old enough to know basketball. He was the coach of that Cavs team that LeBron was on in his 4th season that went to the finals against the Spurs. That was Mike Brown's team. He had the Cleveland Cavaliers at that time as the number 1 defensive team in the NBA. A lot of people said that Cavs team was trash. That Cavs team was not trash. They had a very, very great defensive team. And they filled around LeBron very good with Daniel Gibson, Mo Williams, Julius Ilgauskas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Anderson Varejao was on that team as well. They had a very good team around LeBron James. You don't get to the finals. You don't win 60-plus games while being a sorry team. So that narrative needs to go out the window. But back to my main subject. The Kings have a very good team. I've said before, I think the Kings have the best starting 5 in the Western Conference. I said starting 5, most well-rounded starting 5 with De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Huerter, Keegan Murray, Harrison Barnes, Domantas Sabonis. I think that's the most well-rounded starting 5. You have the mid-range and shooting of Harrison Barnes, who also does, you know, the little things. You have Keegan Murray, so also he's a 3-point shooter, but he's turning into a solid 2-way player. And then you have Kevin Huerter, who's the outside shooter, you know, who can knock down shots. You got Domantas Sabonis with the inside scoring, who is just super skilled, and also he's pretty physical. He takes care of the inside of the paint. And you got De'Aaron Fox, who's just like You know what I'm saying? Like a brand new, gives you a brand new engine in a Mercedes or a Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? That's what De'Aaron Fox. He's just an all around great point guard, and I think he's making a case of being a top 5 point guard in the NBA right now. So it's no mistake they're the number 1 offensive team in the NBA. So they got all this. They got the coaching, the players. They have the chemistry, camaraderie, the competitiveness. They have all that. But I have one question for the Sacramento Kings, and this has been the main question about how they're going to propel in the playoffs. Are they able to take a second? Are they take their level to a second gear? Are they able to take what they did in the season and become another gear in the playoffs? That's what you got to look at. Because the West right now, there's going to be some upsets in the Western Conference. There's going to be some upsets, meaning like you're going to see a few teams that were highly ranked get beat by some of these lower teams. You got the Timberwolves, you got the Lakers, the Mavericks, the Pelicans if they get in there, and then you got, I think, one other team in the bottom. It's going to be either the Warriors, the Clippers, or the Suns. Depends how that 4, 5, 6 seed goes. One of those bottom 5 to 8 teams are going to beat out one of those top 4 seeds based off of the matchups that's going to happen. And my question to the Kings, if they draw a team like, say, the Lakers or the Mavericks or the Warriors, one of those teams, are they going to be able to take their game to another level? Is De'Aaron Fox going to be able to compete with, like, say, a Steph Curry, with a Kyrie Irving, with a Mike Conley, you know what I'm saying, with a Chris Paul, if that tends to happen? And is he going to be able to compete with those teams? Because that's what he's going to have to go up against. And I think De'Aaron Fox, I've said this time and time again, I think that he's one of those players that he gets up for those big moments. He's going to be very, very excited to face those type of point guards. So I don't think the moment's going to be big enough. It's not going to be too big for him. I'm more looking at the other players, how they're going to perform. Kevin Huerter, is he going to start, clanking shots, or is he going to start making shots? Keegan Murray, him being a rookie, how is he going to be able to fit in the playoffs? You got the bench with Malik Monk, Davion Mitchell. Those players, are they going to be able to contribute as well? Trey Lyles. So that's my only question with Sacramento. Other than that, they need to keep this team together for years to come. They're a very special team. I think that if they face a team like, say, the Memphis Grizzlies, let's say they get the 3rd seed and Memphis gets the 2nd seed. If somehow those two face each other, I think the Kings can put the Grizzlies out. I think they could. I think Fox is a better point guard than Ja Morant. I think Domantas Sabonis will have his way with Jaren Jackson in that post, even though I think Jaren Jackson will give him a run for his money. I think that Keegan Murray and Trey Lyles will be able to, match Dylan Brooks' toughness. I think that Kevin Huerter, I think the outside shooting of the Kings is going to pay dividends. Now, here's the catch, though. Memphis is a pretty good defensive team, and Sacramento is like the best offensive team. So it's going to be a clash of the Titans between those two. I just think Sacramento is also, they have the best coach. I like Taylor Jenkins of the Grizzlies, but I think the immaturity of Memphis is going to cost them in the playoffs. That's what I truly believe. I think the Kings are a more mature team. I think they're more well-rounded. I think they're with a championship coach. And I just think they have a better system. So I think if those two teams face, they'll beat them. Like I said, it's going to come down to matchups at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. But that's my only question. Do y'all feel like the Kings are going to be ready to be able to compete at that level against anybody in the Western Conference? All right. Pull up, see, pull up, check, pull up. Peace. Out of here like swimwear.